I'm gonna do the absolute opposite of apply. That piece.
Hydron showed me concepts in Overwatch that I hadn't previously considered. But he didn't just break my brain, he also agreed with a couple of the ways that I think.
All right, so what's your rank?
Currently, Diamond 2 just re-achieved my current tank peak.
Wait, so you play more than one role?
No, I was just clarifying it was on tank. That's all. No, I main tank, but I do on occasion dabble, but it's pretty rare.
I'm here to support you.
Okay.
But you have to put in
If I were you, I would never dabble.
Okay.
Dabbling is your downfall.
Okay.
Yeah. Pro tip.
Pro tip. All right, we're starting off strong. Okay.
All right, cool. So like, wait, can you see my? No, you wait. You can't see my pen in Discord. One sec. That should be better.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you.
Okay, so what's your like kind of like general idea on how to play this map? Like, how do you? I mean, you play Zarya?
Yeah, that's my main hero. Yep.
Okay, so why do you play Zarya here?
Because she's my main hero. Current kind of philosophy is to play Zarya unless she's banned. It doesn't matter about the map. I know that on paper, like I'm aware that like a map like Watchpoint is a great example where Zarya just objectively struggles comparatively to any mobile hero of any kind. But at the current state of my learning and what I've done so far, whether this is right or wrong, I'm not saying, just to explain it, I've just been focused on playing the one hero, improving on that hero, getting the fundamentals of the role down, and then expanding to the other heroes as needed. But it's pretty rare that I lose at Watchpoint on Zarya. This is a rare loss on that map for me.
And so like, what is your goal? Like, do you have like a goal rank? Like, I saw that your goal was a WCS. Like, do you have like a shorter term goal, like something that's not as far?
I had tabled the OWCS because, I mean, realistically, my original goal was to get there by 2026. That was a little naive. The goal in general is naive because I'm in my late 20s, but I more or less kind of dropped back out of that, but I'm not giving it up completely. So that to answer your question more directly, my short-term goal was to hit top 500, but with this weird freaking system they put together, I'm kind of hoping it balances out by the end of the season, but it doesn't seem like it's as difficult as it was previously. So I'm not sure if that's a fair way to go. So I'm considering pivoting to, you know, hitting champ or something like that, where there's a little bit more kind of focus.
So how do you end up playing this map on Zarya? Like, how do you usually like to play this?
Like pathing wise,
for example. Yeah, like how do you like to take the fights?
So it really, obviously, primarily it depends on where the enemy team positions, but generally they position there on the bridge where your mouse is hovering, or they're back there, or also by the kind of sphere, that is how I'd call it there, that's kind of, right over there. Yeah, and those are kind of the three places. If they're on that bridge, I'm going to be honest with you, that's less common. So if they're at point B, as you've kind of highlighted it there, I don't know that I have a great way to path there, to be completely transparent, but most of the time they're on A and C. And either of those, I end up going the underneath route, underneath B there, under that doorway. Nope, the doorway rather than main. Yeah, so kind of the flank route there. Yep. And then I try to pressure them. If they're at C, obviously it's a little bit more straightforward. A, without the knockback perk, it's almost impossible to get up there. It's not impossible, but you got to go way overextended. So I just try to kind of put some pressure on them and push them back, make them use resources and hope for the best. And most of the time they just give up that high ground, like just for me being there. It's really weird. Really? They give up the high ground for you being here? Oh yeah, bro. We're in Diamond. They think that the Zarya being there means they need to back up. Like, okay, I'm being so serious. Like, I know that doesn't work at upper ranks. They're just going to punish the crap out of me, which again, right. You know, I'm self-aware enough to know that I can't do what I'm currently doing, playing Zarya on Watchpoint once you get to a certain point. I don't know where that certain point is, but I can tell you in Diamond, it hasn't been a tremendous issue for me, I will say. Right. So what I want to kind of like teach you is just like how to play the game properly. Like, it's regardless of rank. Like, you know, for you to always make like the right decision regardless. Like, you know, you say like, oh, you know, this won't work in Diamond, or they won't drop off A in Diamond. They will drop off A in Diamond, but they won't do it in GM.
You know what I mean? Like we should
Yeah,
play the
sure.
game how the enemy should react, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Right.
with you.
And so I see a lot of what you're talking about, like people on A, some people on B, on C, some people on B. Um, and the better people are, and really the way this should be played is like you you shouldn't be able to you should be able to cross this, right? Your cart should not be able to make it down here, right? Because
Right.
that's ideally, that's how you count first, right?
Right. Yeah, because you're surrounded by high ground. Theoretically, there's no reason that
Without
unless you pressure
them,
them back, that you'd be able to walk through there.
right? That's why attacking A is so hard is because defenders start with such like an advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and you know, people start to use that advantage the better they get. So you really have to assume that they're going to make the right decision, right? So assuming that they're going to use A properly and they're going to use C properly, or they could use B properly. Like, how would you play? Like, what would be your idea? Because Zarya is pretty
Limited here.
hard on this map.
Yeah. Well, especially
Yeah,
right
I mean,
here, like
you could,
objectively. Yeah.
you could like objectively just say bad, right? So if you're gonna make a bad character work, you have to have like a pretty good play because it's possible.
Yeah. I guess that's a really good point. I would say that, like, because I haven't been forced to find a plan, which until this game would probably be a very good example of just maybe even straight up just a different hero would have been better just to have the range. So, like, even, my secondary
Right.
is Sigma, my third is actually Diva. And, Sigma would have been better objectively, Diva would have been better objectively, especially for this first point. So, I mean, even just that would be probably a better way to
Okay.
do it. And then at that point, I could elaborate if you want, but I'd have a better plan with either of those heroes.
Well, tell me what you would do in Zarya. Like if
If they actually hold the
you,
places they're supposed to.
your team walks up here, but they're making it really hard because they're shooting from here, they're shooting from A, B, C, and they're taking advantage of what they should be.
If they're doing what they should be, I'm going to try and walk basically. Still going to take the same path I kind of referenced earlier, where I go through that doorway, but I'm going to try and hold that right hand side, my right hand, from the perspective I'm playing at. Right, so
This
a little bit further up there, basically behind the blue
here?
boxes outside of point. Nope. Back up just a little bit.
Oh.
Yep, sorry. Out just outside of spawn. Literally as I'm
Okay,
leaving
right
spawn.
here, right
Walking. Yeah. Walk along that side, go underneath there, go up the stairs, and begin to pressure the back line. Typically by pressuring that back line that's either on A or C. Typically, whoever, it's usually a Diva, maybe a DPS up on B, they then turn around and come back to try and push me out, which forces that makes that space so now the team can at least leave past B. Then they get to the corner there where it starts to round the corner, where the payload rounds the corner, and I'm still kind of in that position below A right there, kind of just coming up those stairs right below A, and I'm able to kind of adapt as it goes.
Why do you want to clear high ground? Like why do you feel like this is the move?
Clearing the high ground in my mind, it allows the team to actually do something, because if they're, particularly depending on the heroes they've chosen, holding that high ground is incredibly oppressive, considering the fact there's three. I mean, it's completely surrounding, apart from one side, that it's all high ground, and it's a tremendously difficult thing to overtake.
And what do you think like makes Gibraltar like unique to all the payload maps, right? Because this is probably the only map where the attackers like start on such a huge incline, but there's like a caveat to it, right? Which I feel like is the cart. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the cart goes into a place where they simply cannot see anymore. Like this advantage, like this kill box for them, is like simply just becomes useless once the cart hits a certain threshold. Like once it gets under this
Yeah, they have to
out.
back out at that point because there's no advantage to the high grounds at that point. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
we'll see how you played it, and let's see how it goes.
Okay. Uh-oh. Might be losing him. Hydron, are you there?
Hello? Oh, you're lagging?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if I lagged or what it was. I was looking at my internet. I didn't see anything, but sorry about that. It's right as you hit play, it just froze up for me, and the stream did at the same time. So it must have just
Oh,
been
so
my
you
internet.
didn't watch that?
No, I'm sorry. It was
Okay,
right
okay.
as you were going to start explaining. My bad.
We're gonna run back. All right, cool. What did you think about that?
I left the entire space open for the diva to go after my team. It wasn't a great move. The deep flank especially was just not a good idea.
Okay. Well, why do you think it was bad? Like, why do you think your team just fell over?
Because they still had, so I say I should be more clear. The enemy team had all their cooldowns, so they were able to take advantage of the fact that I was just in Narnia, and they could turn on the team.
Right. So you're the tank, and you're the front line, and you're like the first line of defense, and you just said it. They have all their cooldowns, right? And so if they have all their cooldowns with their tank, and your team has all their cooldowns, but without their tank, there's no win.
Yeah,
you know what I
throwing
mean?
the fight. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the first person to kind of take the damage from their cooldowns and to take the grunt of it, it isn't there to take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, cool. We'll go next. Wow.
See, like, even me watching this, I'm like cringing at my bubble use and the fact that I have not had any charge. Like, God.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? Like, do you think you could have played that better?
Oh, immensely. I mean, Jesus. Like, there's. God, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm literally. I know you can't see it, but I'm visibly cringing at my own gameplay right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great. So I think like one of the things I am working on right now is my bubble cooldown, specifically using the first two to get the initial charge, and then using the bubbles subsequently to take or give space depending on the ebb and flow of the fight. So I did none of that there.
I mean, I think it actually depends. Like, I think the whole you need your first bubble to get charged is kind of like a myth, right? Like, I think if you watch like a lot of the good czars, like Hanbin, like he's like extremely stingy with his bubbles, right? He's not very like concerned about his charge. Like, for example, you have Zarya here, right? And they have Diva, and they have Widow, and they have Vendetta.
Yeah.
That is kind of like abusing this high ground, right? And you know that the only way for them to kill somebody outside of a headshot is for their diva to push something, right?
Right.
And so as soon as you're aware of that, right, your kind of eye should be on where this diva's going, right? Because you don't have any high ground, you don't have any mobility, you can't really outpace her on this map, right? And you're kind of stuck to the cart. So like kind of the only thing you should be worried about is your teammates, because you can't really die to them, right?
Right. Yeah.
You can't really get pushed by them. They're not going to push Azari with two bubbles.
Yeah, they don't
right?
have a
So
burst
the only way that they can,
on their team. Yeah.
Right. The only way that they can kill something is by what this diva is doing right now, right? And
Right.
I actually think he ends up getting a kill or two.
Yeah, he gets a couple.
Right. And like while your Mercy dies, look where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't even know this is happening. Right?
Nope. Not even aware. Yep.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends. Like if you're in a Zarya, then yeah, you can try and get first bubble to get charged, but like on certain comps, like you need to kind of think of like, how should I use my bubbles versus comp? Because Overwatch is not black and white. There's no right way to play anything, right? It changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you see the boom, Diva does it again.
And right now, I can just turn on her and kill her. Like, there's no reason that she lives there.
And bubble the Ana, and then that's how you get your charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then once you clear them, then your team can push forward, and so that can kind of happen.
Yes. So why? I wish I had realized that Widow was up there that low. Holy crap. Yeah, I was super indecisive there. I should have just done something, whatever it was, and just committed to it.
So I don't think that was your problem. Is like indecisive. I think you made the wrong choice. Do you know what that choice is?
Pushing the cart rather than going up?
No, let's go a little back.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what the choice is?
Shooting this Widow and then dropping is what I
think your choice
initially thought.
actually was your bad choice was to go top. I think if you had never gone top, let me see, when did you go top? I think you decided to go here.
I cut there. Yeah, that would have got a point past this.
I think if you would have stepped here, point would have been by here by the time the Diva came back.
Man, at that point,
no one's going
to
to drop
matter
matters to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And then, yeah, exactly. This is useless because
you
guys are playing out the LOS. Right? But look how much time you kind of like waste by
chasing
a kill you can't get.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're zero charge, right? Like you have no
Yeah.
killing capability at zero charge.
Exactly. Especially with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't count me out. The payload's moving.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Damn.
Yeah, this would have popped off. And you'll see this Vendetta pocketed by Mercy was definitely one of my biggest vices. Like, as far as like, yeah, there's other problems too, but like that was certainly, I will say it was a problem.
I mean, there wasn't much you could do there, but I mean, that is kind of the downfall of the downfall of Zarya. Like, you can't do anything about that, which is the problem with this character on this map.
Sure. Give me just a second. I got to swap batteries in my headset. Apparently, I thought I did, but I neglected to do that. I just don't want you to start saying something and I don't catch it. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
60 seconds remaining. Огонь по готовности.
Cool.
Why did I back out here, actually? I should have just stayed in there. I'm not sure why I walked out. I mean,
nice.
It worked, but probably shouldn't have.
I mean, I think that was the first good play you made.
Was it the grab itself?
Yeah. I think you left a little early. I think you didn't actually
was...
fully secure, but I think it was fine. I was more concerned about like the fact like you walk out and the would have just headshots you and you're like panicking.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you want to do second point here on Zarya?
Oh god. Okay. So this is probably I honestly, Numbani, I'm sorry, watch point. My caffeine is not kicked in yet. The watch point, this is my least favorite point because of this damn airplane. It's almost impossible to get up to without playing a mobile hero. So the crux of this will keep coming back to that. But if I'm going to commit to the Zarya, and go behind where I'm at, where the stairs are. I can go up that way to get to the bridge that goes through the actual plane there.
This one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's literally directly behind where I'm standing right now to my right.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. And then end up there. Obviously, that's a good way to go to get up there, and then you can, depending on the situation, you can push through even further, go all the way to the other side of the plane, go up those boxes, end up on top of the airplane, and then at that point you can put the pressure off of the really extreme high ground there.
Do you think second point shares any like commonality between this one and first point?
I mean, yeah, given once you get past that, so you come through the big entryway there, and then like right through here, and then as soon as you go around that second bend there underneath the plane, the high ground on the plane becomes virtually, not completely, but virtually useless.
Mm-hmm. So, knowing that, how do you want to play this now?
I guess maybe take it a little bit slower, like get us to that point, and I'm actually not too sure how I would adapt to what you just asked, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on like what they're playing, but like if they are, playing a dive comp and they're like, something that they have to push you, it's not like they're playing Sigma and they're just sitting on
Right.
the backside of card and they're just, waiting for you to push them. Like they, like something like a diva, a monkey, they actually have to jump you,
Yeah.
right? So it would kind of depends, but I agree. Like once the cart gets over here, and like honestly, if you win first normally, like you usually get the cart to this spot
Before they
anyway.
actually get to group to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, this is cart usually is at least here before the first fight starts.
It's a fair point.
And
Okay.
yeah, I think you can honestly kind of abuse it. I think you should push cart until you can, honestly, because at the end of the game, this map is high ground, but it's payload, right? So like if you find yourself stuck here on this incline and they're kind of like holding this and they're playing top here, right? Then I would kind of like, okay, now I need to go top and now I need to clear this off, right? Because at the end of the day, you can lose every fight, but if you push the like if let's say the fight starts here, right? You lose, but you got the card here, right? And the
Mhm.
next fight you lose, but you got the card here. And then the next fight you lose, you got the I mean, the map's already almost captured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see
Like
it. Hmm.
that's why like backcapping and C9ing is so bad because you spend an entire fight, ults, cooldowns to win the fight, but you lose all the card progress, right? So it's
Right.
like null and void almost.
Yeah. Okay. I'm understanding. So like that, like payload versus like a, I forget what the actual terminology would be. It's like control point, right? Where you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, where if you have high ground around a control point, you do actually need to clear it because you can't take the point otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like this isn't like a black and white rule, but like
Right. Like we said,
Yeah.
there's not literally anything.
like
black and
when
white
you
in this
play
game.
Zarya into like such a hard map for Zarya, when there's so much high ground, like there's not many ways you can play it, you know what I mean?
I really thought I grabbed that many. Jeez, I just watched that. That hurt.
You know what I mean? Like you're on to just push card and look, you guys haven't even
We're
fought yet.
already, yeah, we're already. I need to take the shorter route instead of playing ring around the rosy here, but nitpick maybe, but
Oh,
yeah, yep. That was exactly what I said out loud when that happened. I said, "Oh, we're nanoing."
oh, that character looks cancer.
The only issue that I have with Vendetta personally, and I don't know if this is just because I'm a diamond player and don't actually know what the hell I'm talking about, but like she seems like she's got a lot of mitigation, especially when she's holding block, and if she has a pocket of any kind, she is legitimately unkillable. I'm 100 charge right now, beaming this chick down, and she does not die. It is super wild.
I think there's only like one thing I don't like about this fight, and
Okay.
thing is, I mean, half it's your fault, half it's your job. I don't like that you're backing up in front of your Ana. Like the nano feels weird because he's in front of you.
It was a panic now
And
because it was to encourage me to go forward. I see what you're saying.
yeah, and like yeah, he shouldn't be on car while you're not there, right?
Sure,
But
but I
it's kind
can't
of like
control
vice
them.
versa. Like yeah, right. Like this feels bad because you're not with him.
Okay, that makes
Also,
sense.
because you know what I mean. Like if you like after you bubble this mercy, you walk up, this nano feels a lot better,
Yeah, because I'm in the right position to actually capitalize on it.
and you can probably kill the Juno or something, right? But this feels bad because you start on your back foot,
Right.
and then the Juno, and then you're still on your back foot.
Yeah.
Wait, let me watch that back. I mean, outside the grab, because you guys obviously don't have anything for it. I just don't like the fact that you're always kind of behind people, you know?
Backing off too early, maybe, do you think? Or what do you think?
I think you just like kind of let people lead you to the promised land. Almost. Like you
Honestly,
let
that's fair. That's a common criticism I get. They're not wrong on that.
like the Reaper backed up, was getting pushed, you bubbled him, he backed up behind you, and then he walked in front of you before you walked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
he's
that
gonna
makes
take
sense.
more damage if you're not in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Bubble timer was crispy. Yeah, look at this. I wasn't shooting that for very long, granted, but like she didn't. Her health bar didn't move.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, nitpick. It's a current pet peeve of mine. I kind of hyperfixate on it a bit too much.
All right. So let me know what you think about this fight.
Okay. I think target priority would have been better if I just turned on the cast, despite the grav.
Yeah, I think you're too fixated on squishies. I think you're like, I noticed this on first point.
Yeah,
and when you were
not
like,
shooting the
chasing
tank
Widow,
enough. Is that what you mean?
but I never see you shoot the tank. And the
Yeah.
tank is how you get charged. The tank is how you get your ult faster.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I'll
but-
say that's something that is a pendulum swing, because for a while it was exactly the opposite that was the problem. I was shooting nothing but the tank, so I've been actively working on going the other direction, but it absolutely has been to the other extreme while I'm still trying to break that previous habit. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think what you could do is like, I mean, obviously it's not a rule, but like,
Oh,
you know,
sure.
shoot anything that's like within your beam range, right? And
Shoot what's
like,
convenient.
yeah, shoot what's in front of you.
Mhm.
Like, don't think like, huh, I see a squishy. I could probably shoot the squishy, but it's like the squishy's like flying around. Like, look at this Mercy real quick.
Yeah, that's chasing her around, but yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, why am I
look
shooting
how easy
that?
it is. Look how easy for this, because you know the Zarya's playing defensively. Like, look how easy it is for Zarya when he can just, when he has nothing on him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the health bar didn't even drop.
Yeah. And then he gets grabbed, but he has 2 bubbles.
And if I had pressured him and burned either of those bubbles, it's a chance we could have turned
maybe,
that fight.
maybe something could happen, you know, maybe, not saying you would have won, but
we could have tried something different for sure. It would have gone better.
yeah, to me, I think your grab was all right, but I think this is lose-lose. This is Mercy, especially when you're low charge, like you have like 0 business shooting not a tank. You do no damage at this charge.
Yeah.
Right, and then if you like shoot the Zarya will shoot you back, and maybe you can get some charge, or at least you're getting the Zarya to not shoot your team.
Right.
And he has more
at least
charge than you,
distraction.
right?
Yeah.
But I also noticed another thing. It's like, I'm not sure you're too aware of the map in terms of like cover. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, to me, it looks like you're not thinking about cover. Like you kind of path up, then, I think you get ulted, or they try to ult you. You bubble in the open, still in the open.
No, solid point.
You know what I mean? Like you probably could have played the card the entire time. Like, just because let's say you want to shoot this guy, right? It doesn't mean you have to like swing out here, right?
No, just dance
You
around
could
the cart.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think you would have saved a lot of bubbles and yeah, that's just what it feels like. But
I can
we'll
see
go
that.
on to
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense.
all right, what about defense? How are we playing defense?
I usually set up height basically in between what we used as A and C before. Kind of where that Mercy's flying right now. Literally where that Mercy's flying is where I usually tend to set up initially, like kind of hang out in the stairs.
Wait, you hang out here?
Yeah, get the initial charge and then walk back if I need to. But it puts pressure on them right off the rip. Like that's the thing that goes through my head anyway.
And why do you want to start here?
Honestly, part of it's initial charge, like trying to actually be able to get, because I mean, as we've said a couple of times, a sub 20 especially, but a 0 charge Zarya is not doing anything meaningful. So goal is to get some initial charge and then walk back up the high ground and try and utilize the advantage of the high ground.
So your plan is but your plan is to go here and then to come back
Use like
once
one
you get your
bubble for charge, yeah.
Uh-huh. And why do you think does that work for you?
It has worked. I don't know that it
Really?
worked here, but it has worked.
So a question, why do you do this opposed to, let's say, starting on B and right clicking from B and maybe popping a bubble, or let's say bubbling a teammate? I don't know if they peek with you on B.
Beam range is what comes to mind initially when they come out of spawn. I can get a little bit closer from there is what I originally think. But now that I'm like actually not in the moment thinking about it and like I'm seeing it, there's no difference. I mean, it would be, as far as the range, to be clear, what you're pointing as a better position is actually better for sure, being up there.
Yeah, I think I think you're like I see that you want to do poke a lot of times, but I think you misconstrued her left click for being the thing that pokes, but it's actually her right click.
Oh yeah, no, the right
You know what
click
I mean?
is the projectile launch.
Yeah, like you get more ult charge, you do more damage, you have you have better range, you have better poke with the right click. So I don't want you to think that you have to be in beam range to poke, right? So for example, being down here, well, from what I hear, being down here is because you want to be able to poke them with your left click.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, not to poke them, no, but to be clear, no, poking is with the right click 100%. But I have found more consistent damage output out of left click because, I mean, obviously there's just a lot more DPS, but so I don't find myself utilizing maybe right click as much as I should.
Okay. So what do you think about the kind of alternative, like to maybe set up C or A or B, or kind of use the first point like advantages?
I objectively, it's a better way to play the point.
Well, why do you say that? Why is it better than what you're doing?
Because right now, being on the low ground, obviously, I mean, you can make it as simple as just saying I'm on low ground versus being on high ground. That's one thing. The other thing though is that my team isn't down here. They're all up there. So
right.
besides the vendetta, but generally speaking, again, if going back to like what you're saying, if we were playing it correctly, we would be up. The rest of the team would be up there. So me being down here would put me out of LOS. My supports most likely would force them to do stupid things to try and keep me alive, and ultimately, like we just talked about with the right clicks, being on any of the other points that we've mentioned versus where I am now, I'd still be able to get that initial poke damage in to start building up bolt charge and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And another thing is, like what I said on attack first, you know, you're playing against comps, well, usually like, on Gibraltar, Monkey, Diva, all of these kind of dive comps that they have to come into you, right? They have to dive you. They have to dive your teammates, right? And so I think you would feel a lot better defending this, knowing that you are right here with your teammates when they get dove,
Yeah.
right? You're not pushing and like
Panicking
trying to make it back on time, like to get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And I think you would also feel better if you had 2 bubbles, right?
Yeah,
Rather than like, let's say 20 charge that you could probably get from this, right?
sure.
So let's see how this goes. Do you kind of see what ended up happening?
Yeah, I had to
Just like,
panic walk back.
Yeah, you ended up panic walking back, but your team started the fight with no cooldowns. Everyone, look, right? Like the Vendetta, the Vendetta can never get through here past Zarya.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this never happens. This guy doesn't even get the chance to get a kill, right? Because he gets close, and
But then I push him back if I'm up there.
yeah, your BAP has to use shift, then your soldier uses pad, and then your BAP lamps.
All because
And
of
they get the res up
positioning.
anyway.
Yeah.
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 All because
I see it.
now, and your teammates had to drop off the high ground.
So we've essentially just
Right.
given up the first point just from the one decision of being down there.
Right now, your entire hold on. Now your entire team is where my cursor go? Now your entire team is off this high ground. Now they're here, and now they have to walk all the way back to see LOS of Cart. And by that time, Cart should already be like over here.
Yeah.
And so they can just push Cart under, and that's it. Make sense?
Yes, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Okay, cool. I question before we start this fight. Why do you drop off that high ground right here?
I'd have to. I'm not sure that I do know, to be honest. I'd have to look at it. I'm not too sure. Like what happened right before this, I'm not too sure what would have made me. Probably just a lack of confidence. That's normally what happens when I drop from a otherwise would be a good position. Like lack of confidence, I'm going to land a shot that I need to. Or track well, in this case, with Zarya. Right there. Probably to drop closer to the team. That would have been, I think, what was going through my head there. Although I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think you just need like firm principles that you don't give up on. Like I think that high ground is the best on this map.
Yeah, especially this map.
And so therefore you have no reason to ever drop. Like for example, right? If I was playing Monkey, right? And get rid of this thing. If I was playing Monkey, right? And I'm full HP with my bubble, right? And I see Azaria go from here to here. What do you think? What do you think?
You're
my
gonna
move
jump
is?
where I just left.
I'm just gonna jump right past you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna jump right past you. I'm gonna force your supports back. I'm gonna force a lamp. I'm gonna control this high ground, and then you're gonna be shooting me from under me. And my team's gonna push a cart nice and smooth.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep, it does.
Cool. So even like a lot of the times you're gonna feel in Zari that you're not doing enough or you're not doing a lot. But a lot of the time that comes from you being in the right place. Like
Existing in the right space.
right. Like you feel like you're not doing anything because you're just right clicking and you have no charge and you just watching them shoot and push the cart. But like when you're playing Zarya in these places, like you just being in the right spot is how you do the most. right? Like you making sure that you're up here with your BAP and Mercy prevents their Monkey and Vendetta from taking the stop, right?
Yeah.
You're the only guard for that. Right? And now like the Vendetta takes top, he assassinates your backline, and you're just a witness.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And they consequently,
you
like we
live,
said, they get that first point. No, I don't live here. No, I definitely
yeah, you
don't.
don't even live, so it's so pointless.
If I remember right, we actually stall for a decent amount here. Like into OT, somehow.
So before this fight finishes, this is what I was talking about, like on second attack, is where I don't feel you're aware of the map, right? Because to me, right, if this Widow is any better, you walk out this choke and you're headshot already. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like he has like the perfect angle on you, and I feel like you're not mindful of it. Like you're not like taken into account. Like there's kind of like this dance you do on Zarya where you like, you walk and then you like jiggle the corner, you right click, and then when you feel like you're good to walk, then you walk. You know what I mean? Like
Kind of gathering
Zarya,
information before making the decision to walk forward. Is that what you're meaning?
right? Like you don't, you never see a Zarya just like come back to point, just straight like walk it down, right?
Sure.
There's
No,
like,
absolutely. There's a pathing. And yeah, sure.
that's what makes her bad, is that she's just kind of just like stationary. She has no mobility. She has no block. I mean, she has a bubble, but you don't want
Right.
to bubble off just you getting low from a headshot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you would hate to walk out this choke and be headshot and either have to bubble or have to walk right back to where you came from.
Yeah.
And then the car pushes more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's better decisions to make to avoid using all those cooldowns. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So like
Right here
to
again.
me, I hear this Widow shooting you and I'm like, if this guy was a little better, you'd die.
Yeah. Of course.
Or if he played a little better, like, for example, if this Widow played where he should have and he played right here, and you did what you did where you just kind of
Yeah, it's just free
walked out
real
the choke.
estate. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that looks good for him.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
No, I want to see where you started this fight. So I assume you start up because of your vendetta?
No, I started up to get initial damage before the fight started to try and get force a cooldown before they got there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you see anything wrong with what kind of happened?
That ultimately the only cooldown that got forced was mine.
But do you know why that might be? Like why you're the only one?
Well,
And I'm kind of like hinting towards your setup.
Yeah. It's I see where you're going, I think. But either way, my guess is that because the team is not with me at all. They're completely out of LOS, and I am so far forward that they have no way to assist.
I mean, I would blame that on them, but I mean, you do have a mic. I know you talk in ranked. So, I mean, you could, as a tank, you kind of control the troops, but I think your kind of setup is wrong. Like, to me, it looks like you push for the vendetta and then your vendetta dies.
Right.
But then you kind of like, you don't have a plan after. Like, I noticed like this guy dies and you're just like, oh shit. Well, here they come.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, where do you think you should play? Like, how do you think you should hold this? Because this is kind of a weird, like this cart being here is kind of weird for Zarya,
Maybe.
right? Because
Right. It is weird, 100%. And it's interesting because we keep coming back to the crux. I'll end up asking you a question about it in a minute. But the crux of like heroes and maps and stuff, but we can talk about that in a second. To answer your question specifically, kind of where that BAP is looking up towards right there, that balcony, I don't know if you'd call it a balcony. Not literally right there on the, so mirrored from where the Vendetta is. Where the Vendetta is right now on the other side of that
Here?
box.
This box?
No, I'm sorry.
This box.
There's so many boxes. Can you
This
go from my
box.
POV real quick? I might be able to make this a little easier if we can see it
Sure.
right from where I'm at. Sorry, I'm not doing very good at explaining this. To my left, right here.
This box.
Move a little more to the right. Right in here, and using the
You want to
box
play in the mega room?
more or less, yeah.
Okay, why do you want to play in the mega room?
Because there's a mega, number one, and also puts me in LOS of my Baptiste. That was the things that came through my mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say you play here, right? Let's say you get the place you want, you win the fight. You know they have to retake into you, right? So let's say you're like in this area, ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they would attack? Like, how do you think if you were playing monkey on the enemy team, how do you think you would go about this?
I'd just skip past me, I suppose.
Right, exactly. Like if I was playing monkey, I would, I would just walk up here, see who I should dive. If everybody who I dive is in this mega room with the Zarya, I'll just go cart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, I would just kind of ignore you.
So
So where do you think you should play?
honestly,
Like, where
maybe
do you
just
think
the
you could
cart
play in a
straight up.
place? Like, where do you think you can play in a place where they can't ignore you?
I mean, the cart, objectively, they can't ignore you if you're on the cart actively or around it.
Why?
Because they have to push the cart. If they can't push the cart, they can't progress.
So okay, so let's think if you're the monkey now. Like, if you're the monkey and you see the Zarya on cart, what do you do?
But you don't push the cart, you push their team. And if I'm by the cart and closer to my team, I can turn and actually. What's what I'm
I
looking
would
for?
say you could. I would say you could still ignore the Zarya, right? Because you could come
Mhm.
up here, take this high ground,
Well, sure.
and you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go, right? Because you could be on cart, but your BAP is not going to play on cart with you. You know what I mean? Like your BAP is going to play in this mega, or he's going to play up here, or he could play up here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And the Winston can kind of choose, like even if you're on cart here, the Winston can just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to walk here.
Yep.
And then if you come here, he'll just go to guard. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That makes a lot more sense, and I can see what you're saying.
So you're close, but you're not quite there. Where do you think you should play?
Well, I mean, the best option I could think of is actually just to go where the Winton would have jumped in that last hypothetical, right? Where
Exactly.
right to block off the ability for him to make that choice.
You want to limit his choices, right?
Yep.
His only choice should be, how the fuck do I get this R off here?
Right.
Right?
Now I can't stage there at all.
Because he can't come here because you're here, right? And even if he comes here, he can't really choose that much. He can only choose to go into this room, and hopefully your team is smart enough to just go the opposite way.
Right.
You're here, and what does he do? Right? He can't come from here because you can see from this box. He can come top, but then he has to get poked by you or your team. So his only plan is to take you off this box.
Yep.
And then he can play the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. That makes perfect sense.
Okay, cool. But you see, like, you end up burning a bubble, well, 2 bubbles.
Both of them, yep.
And you have no space now. He has everything.
Yeah, literally just more or less giving it up.
That's actually good.
I just let that res get away. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm not even worried about the res.
What did you see that I didn't? I'm sure there's something else. I just noticed that and it was egregious.
Whoa. No, it wasn't egregious, but we'll watch. Let me know what you think.
That looks fine. I hear the window. Yeah, the Vendetta Winton just walking on my team.
Protecting you.
But I like the decision that you made. Like, I think that you knew that the monkey and the Vendetta were behind, and the monkey had primal, right? Because he was kind of playing like he had primal.
Right, he was playing aggressively.
And to me, and hopefully to you, it felt obvious that he was going to trade your backline.
Yeah,
right?
so I walked towards
So
his
I
base.
liked, right, exactly. I like that you were like, okay, he's going to kill my backline. I have to kill his or we lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you did that, and then but you stopped.
When Mercy valked, correct?
No, wait, let me go back.
Because I thought she did. Because I cannot track a valked Mercy. I'm not.
No, I'm not
quite
expecting.
that
That's not this widow, right? This widow is your kill. You have to get this kill.
But
You
walking
have to
away
get this
here, I see it. Okay. Yep.
Like,
Yeah, especially how
Widow-
low she was.
Yeah. This like even if this guy reses in front of your face, like you're already running out of ammo. This guy has to die.
I see it.
But
Okay.
as he's walking away from you, you stand still essentially. Like you don't increase your
Walk
beam
towards
range
it
at all.
or- yeah.
So he just walks away from your beam, and you just hope your right click hits him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. That's actually what I was going through my head. I
Right,
guarantee
like-
it. Yeah, yeah.
Like their monkey goes. You kill their Juno. Your Mercy Valks. Okay, it's a 1-for-1 trade. 2-for-1. But you could have made it 2-for-2.
Yeah, yeah. I see it.
You see it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And they get the res off, so you traded nothing.
Right, right. Ultimately, it was a net zero, net loss. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, not the best graph. Not the best. I remember thinking that in the moment too. I was just so frustrated. Just kept
I think you're just a bit. I think you just suffered with indecisiveness there. I think there's a lot of things you could have did.
Okay.
I think you just panicked. I'm not saying there was like a right decision. Like, you know, for you to grab here and try and clutch this is your discretion.
Mhm.
It's not a right or wrong, but to not do it on your own terms is a problem. Like the widow headshot you, you're like, oh shit.
Right.
And so you grabbed him.
Reactively instead of proactively. Yeah.
Right, like you could have grabbed this Mercy. You could have grabbed this Vendetta.
Yeah, yeah. Anything. Was,
You could have grabbed anything. You only grabbed her as soon as she headshot you.
right, because I
You're like,
panicked.
oh, I need to kill her.
Yep. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
Right, and then by the time you grab her, you're already like 100 HP, and the Vendetta kills you.
Yep.
Right, so I'm not saying that like for you and try to clutch. I mean, you guys could have won. If
Oh, we
if
absolutely
you're alive,
could
your
have.
team wins. Yeah. I mean, your team's winning without you, but
Yeah. Real. I don't know what happened with the wings
yeah.
in there. He just kind of stood still.
Wonderful.
cool, good.
I feel like I was just like asleep for this, like up until. Well, I mean, honestly, pretty much still now.
Go
but
top!
like,
Go top!
yeah,
No!
go top. Yeah, instead of being where I'm at. Yeah, maybe learn from the mistake I made the first time. Yeah, that would have been good.
No, okay. Now you know. But
yeah, now I know.
you know
But
how-
still.
you know how it feels to VOD, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. Just like screaming at yourself the whole time.
But you see how every time the monkey just kind of just gets to space.
Ignores
like,
me.
You,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, completely ignores you. He does not. He doesn't want to shoot you, and he doesn't have to. Oh, you guys lost this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they literally get into overtime.
Oh my
if I
god, he
remember
just
right.
primal.
Yeah, he did. To try and get, I think he tried to get the point or something, but he. Maybe don't shoot the monkey. I don't know. He's in primal. It doesn't seem like the most productive way to use my ammo. Juno's isolated, but I die here. Yeah.
All right, what do you see? What's wrong with this?
I'm trying to figure out why I died. I mean, obviously because my health went away, duh. But like, I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm really not sure yet.
Okay, well, just look at it again. Let me know.
Okay. Yeah, why am I not shooting the supports here? Like that
I think there's another problem.
cover?
Maybe we'll go back.
Lack of cover?
That's one. Yeah, I think that's a part of it.
I'm sure it's staring me right in the face, but I'm missing it. Because apart from like egregious not using cover in the middle of a very surrounded high ground,
All right, chat. What is it? Chat. What is it? Well, I'll let chat figure it out.
Is it that bubble? I mean, it might be a little nuanced. I don't know.
Yeah, chat got it. You have no bubbles.
Okay.
Look, this is the fight. You have no bubbles.
Right.
The fight, in my opinion, just started. Right.
And I have nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Like you. This bubble was a waste. But.
The one walking out there? Yeah.
And then. Bubble here, and you have nothing. You are now in a Juno with no bubbles.
Yeah, true. Was the
Right,
second one
and
truly
you-
a waste, though? It felt like it. I mean, obviously,
No, the
charge got
second one.
better.
The second one. The
The
second
second one, I
wasn't a
thought.
waste.
I was gonna say, I think the
The
first
fir-
one
the-
definitely was.
The first one was a waste, but the first one and makes you having no bubbles. Like
I
you
see
know,
what
the
you're
one
saying.
was important, and the first one wasn't important. But now you just have none.
Yeah.
Right. If you had a bubble to walk to the Juno and onto the Juno right now, you know that's golden.
Right.
That's where you want to be.
Right.
Right. But you ended up getting just slashed by Vendetta. Like, you know, you could not. You know, a higher rank Vendetta will never feel this, where they can just like swing on a Zarya, and you never see the Zarya bubble.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, well, we can talk about the cover part. How do you feel about cover? Like, where do you think you could have played that part better?
I could have actually just held that little box right there outside of the doorway. I could also be behind the support beam that's kind of orangish there to the left. Kind of in that little, yeah, right in that little area there. Like pretty much anywhere but standing on the cart would have been okay.
Yeah, I think when you actually look at this, like this Juno is actually not scary. Like they have no one. They have a Juno pushing a Juno. You know what I mean? Like he's not really
Yeah, it's
like
just
outside
the
of your
Juno
team
in it.
just
Yeah.
purposely peeking it for no reason. Like the Juno actually isn't doing much.
No, it's actually kind
Right?
of wasted. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you kind of trolled with it, but it got valid because you guys walked into it.
It doesn't help that I'm also shooting
Right.
my own mercy, but yeah.
Yeah, like you could have stayed here, you could have played here, you could have even waited here. And then as soon as the Juno comes out, you can just touch cart last second, right?
Yeah.
And it's a cart game, right? So they have to touch a cart.
We're correct. Yeah.
So you would have at least saved half your health here.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Either of those changes would have potentially won us that fight. Especially if it did both, it would have definitely won us the fight.
Right. That's why I say like elo hell doesn't exist, right?
No, I
Because-
agree with you completely. Yep.
Right, like because for example, if you were to put like let's say like the best R in the world here, right? Like
Yeah,
he would
throw
never
Hanbin
lose
in.
a game.
Yep. Mm-mm.
Right. Hanbin would never lose a game here.
Nope.
So
No
you're
shot.
like, oh, but I dropped 40 every game. I dropped 40, but like I wouldn't lose the game if I was in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's always something that you do wrong
Oh, there's
that-
always something. Yeah, absolutely.
that potentially costs you the game.
Yeah. Yeah, to think otherwise would be pretty arrogant.
Yeah. Like I hear that a lot. Where we're like, oh, but I drop 40 every game.
It's not Call of Duty. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like
I mean, I do it sometimes too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to pretend that I don't, but like. Yeah, there's another one of those dropping from high ground things. Although I'm not sure this one was the worst decision, but it wasn't great.
at least you saw it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine you in this fight, but you're just like doing the same thing but beaming from up here,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And your honor probably never dies.
Yeah. But instead, I drop in. I think that forces her to be. Well, she's exposed.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
And that actually forces her to peek because now she has to peek over the bridge to
Just
kill
a
you.
wide peak in order to actually hit me. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Overwatch is a pretty domino effect game. Like one small decision kind of, some like most people will be like, "Oh my God, Ana, how are you dead?" You know what I mean? But it's because he has to peek you to heal you.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next game and continue stretching my brain, I want to thank my patrons for their support. And in return for their support, they get the access to play quick play games every other Saturday morning with myself and other patrons. There's obviously more perks available, but you'll have to check the link in the description for the Patreon page for those details.
Any questions about that map?
No, can I ask you a couple of like more general questions though, just to get a brief thought on it? Okay, because we've kind of, especially with that map, I mean, obviously New Queen Street, it's not as relevant to the hero pick, because Zarya is definitely fine here. But like but with specifically with Watchpoint, I guess I'm curious because I've gotten a lot of like, it almost seems like 50-50 split between people who think that you need to pick heroes based on the map and you really don't need to. Obviously, there are fringe exceptions of people who can one-trick a hero into the upper ranks, and clearly they play their heroes on the maps that don't serve them best. But I also wonder if someone from your spot, I think you'll have a better understanding of this question. So to make it a lot shorter, do you think that it would be more beneficial? I'm not even trying to frame this question, or I guess I'll just make it simpler. Heroes clearly can get advantages from playing on maps that they're favored in, i.e. playing Diva, Winton, etc. But is it necessary, do you think, to climb, in your opinion?
Well, it depends on your goal. Like, you can just be a one trick and play your one trick everywhere and anywhere. And then, like, for example, like Junkrat, you can play Junkrat everywhere. Junkrat's not the best everywhere, but I've seen one tricks play. I've seen one tricks play Sim everywhere when
Yeah.
Sim's not good,
Right.
and win and make it look good, even though it's not good, right? Because it's ranked.
Yeah.
But if you want to be like the best player you can be, you like definitely need to be able to play different characters in different maps. Because, for example, if you would have played Monkey that game or Diva, your life would have been 20 times easier.
Right.
Your team's life would have been 20 times easier. But yeah, that's what makes Overwatch so good, is that you can play different things on different maps. Like, it's not like, for example, what could be hard meta, you play every map, probably isn't going to be hard meta on Dorado, because Dorado is such a dive map that even
if Brawl or
hard
Poke is
meta comps aren't even, it's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
you wouldn't say that Zarya is nearly as good on Kings that it is on Dorado, right? Like,
Right.
Monkey's definitely better on Dorado.
Right. Okay. That answers that question.
But
the other question, this one's a lot easier. You actually said that you assume that I use comms. I don't. I explicitly stay out of voice chat because it's 9 times out of 10 my experience has been that it largely is a net negative and devolves into toxic chaos. So I don't typically do that. Do you think that's ultimately a bad thing? It would be better for me to just put up with it, mute the people that are the losers and move on? Or like, what do you think what would you do in that situation if you were me?
yeah, you should be in voice always. Like, even if you're not talking, like, there's been plenty of times, like hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times, where I've won a game just because I heard somebody make a call. Somebody saying, "Oh, somebody's behind," or they have ult,
you
or they
get
have this
tunnel
ult.
vision and someone says, "Oh, hey, I got you. I'm with
Or
you."
somebody's like, "Oh, come push with me," right? Like, you ever like play in a rank game where like you're 1v1ing somebody and that person just gets help and you're like, "Oh, I lost,"
Yeah.
right? Because they probably just called for it,
Right.
right? Like, in Overwatch, you need your teammates. So, the less you use your teammates, the harder it's going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's something I can adjust for sure. I just was curious. I appreciate it. Carry on as you were.
Yeah, even if someone's in chat, like, even like saying who's going to touch first, that's like,
like an OT.
insanely important. Yeah, because like, how many times can somebody who could have easily touched touch at the same time as somebody who had to like struggle to touch and die for it, when like your tracer could have just touched for free?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, like, with people and voice being weird, just like,
do you think mute them or just ignore it?
I never see it that serious. Like,
well, no, I mean, well, part of it is because I mean, you're part of the scene, like, there's a lot of toxicity in this scene, and particularly for whatever reason, it seems like pointedly towards myself and the content that I've posted. We won't get into all that, but the point I'm saying is that it, especially without streamer mode on, if people figure out who I am, it is disproportionately worse. And I have watched other streamers; they do not have the same problem that I do. So
Yeah, just mute him.
it is what it is. Yeah, mute him, ignore him. Okay, carry on.
Okay, so how do you like to play this map? Because this is also another hard Zarya map.
Really, I've always thought this, like, I understood from the beginning with Watchpoint that objectively it's worse to play Zarya on it, but this one I've never really seen that way. I mean, it has some high grounds, but they aren't nearly as feeling like, they don't seem as oppressive as.
Well, it's not about high ground. It's more about how long maps are. Like,
like
that's what makes
sidelines and
Zarya
stuff.
bad. Is that like, you know, if you're just right click on Zarya the whole game, you're not doing a lot much. Like, you can't do much, right? Like, you need to be able to get to enemies and left click beam. And like, for example, this first fight, if teams come here, they can always just go here, or they can come back here, or they could come all the way here. You know, and they
Okay.
can just completely ignore you.
Yeah.
And never be in your beam range. And you always have to like constantly like walk onto them. But usually the walk is pretty far.
Okay.
Because you have like
versus like a Sigma
like,
or something. If I'm playing Sigma, you can poke
yeah,
them
like if you're playing
range.
Sig, like it's impossible, especially if you don't have Alicio. You know, like if you have the card here, and they're on defense here, and they have people here, and like here, how the fuck do you kill these people in Zarya?
You definitely don't.
Yeah.
Not unless they're just really dumb or you're really lucky. It's gonna be one of those.
But I can lead their own queen, so.
Tunnel vision there.
Okay, cool. I see the problem. What do you think about that fight?
I just let the queen walk right past me. didn't pay her any mind.
What's your general kind of like consensus on how you should play versus a queen?
I probably need to be the one primarily shooting at her, I would think, especially being considered one of her hard counters.
Like, how would you say, like how do you say you could get the matchup to like favor you, right? Because the queen has to like be in your face to do a lot of damage, right?
Keep her at a distance, but within your beam range.
Right, like max range, beam range, like, right? Like the farther away she is from somebody, the less damage she's gonna do, and the less damage, and like the more she has to walk to you to get to where she wants to be, right? So, for example, if the queen's here, in this circle, and you're here and you're beaming her, right? That feels really bad for the queen, right? Because now
nothing you can do.
You're beaming her, and as she gets to walk to you, she's just taking all this beam damage, and you have bubbles.
Right.
Right. So his knife, or her knife, the axe, right, kind of feels bad, right? Like the queen, low-key against Zarya, wants to just walk past Zarya, right? That like if the queen could, she would just shout past you and try and get to these guys,
like she does.
Right.
Right.
But you end up staying like in her face, like in her range, like where she wants to be. So you end up getting low and getting your bubbles forced.
This makes sense to me. I'm with you.
See, like the queen just shouts, gets a kill, and yeah, you didn't even notice, I think.
No,
right?
I don't think I had any idea that she was there. I got too tunnel visioned.
But like same thing on Gibraltar, it's kind of where your priority is, right? Like
right, yeah, no, that's a good point.
That this just off principle, you're never gonna kill this guy.
No, not with the charge I have.
Right, exactly, right. And you know that you are the front line to your team, so you know that you're like your team's guardian, especially on this character, right? You're not really your team's guardian, a monkey, right?
Sure.
But you know that you are their front line. Like you are where damage should be hit first. Like their tank should be shooting you and then be able to shoot them.
Yeah.
But their tank should never be able to just shoot them first.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I have claimed the robot. Push commands.
I like that if you knew where your team was.
Like the initial push.
Yeah, like you just kind of poking up.
But yeah, I didn't.
But I
know
feel
they
like
were...
you didn't
No,
know
I
if
had
your
no
team
idea.
was
You're
with
absolutely
you.
correct. When I turned around there, it was the first time I realized they were all the way back here. Yep.
Right. So just double check. That's all.
Yeah. No, it's a good call out. Why am I so afraid? I got like 500 HP.
This is good. Scorch your more back. Okay, just quick answer. Wait. Just quick question. Is your team here?
No.
Okay.
So
Cool.
why am I here?
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
With
you
you.
got it. Yeah,
Yep.
you got
Yep.
it.
Track it with you.
Right, because you have to think that, if you did that at my rank, you just get one shot. I see the queen's like, whoa, what the fuck is Zari doing? Boom, shout.
She's trolling. Yeah.
Act. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Enemies moving their barricade.
What do you think about that? That kind of engage? I think there's like two things I saw.
Hmm. I mean, I'm just kind of replaying it in my head here. I think,
Sure, we can watch it again.
yeah, if you don't mind, I appreciate it. Why didn't I just... I mean, my entire team's here. Why am I not pushing back into the back line when she goes back here? Like, sure, bubble, but then turn back around and keep shooting the back line that's just keeping them permanently alive. Right?
Well, why do you think you should go for the back line here? Do you think the back line is like killable here? Is that why?
No, I mean, no, not with the tree, but initially when he places it down, I suppose, which is probably that's a really niche because then they walk right into the tree. I mean, as low as that tree is, I could just burn the dang tree, but,
Enemy forward spawn room activated.
I don't know. I think if I had to guess, I'm gonna venture a guess and just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think as soon as the queen ults, I probably do need to walk back and help the team fight that. Also, the Vendetta
Agreed.
walked right up top there, and if I had done anything to her, she wouldn't have been able to set up for this. Right? Yeah?
Yeah, and I also think you greed your bubbles a little bit. Like,
use
it
the
looks
middle
like you're like watching for this guy to get 1 HP.
Gathering energy.
instead of just
You
throwing
know
it
what
on
I
there
mean?
early where he's antied and low.
Yeah, and another thing, so that was like most of what I was thinking about. Two, I think before this tree comes out, I think it feels like you're unaware of like the damage they could do to you right now. Like once you walk this corner, like this Ash is fully capable of just like getting you to half right now and forcing your bubble. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like watching you look back at your team feels like you're not paying attention to her, or you don't know that she's capable of that, right? Because like a better Ash will just dink you in the head once or twice, and then you're like, oh shit, I got to back up. I can't touch car anymore.
Yep,
Then
and
they
by the
cap.
time you back up, it's over.
Right. And the second part was, I think if you actually look at like the danger levels, like compared to these two people, you don't need the bubble.
Do I self-bubble here? I don't even realize I did. I do, the cleanse. Yeah, I bet you that's exactly what went through my head. Not that I'm saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying I think that's what was going through my head. Yeah, no, that's a really good point.
I think you could have saved both those guys. I'm not saying that you would have won the fight, but I think you...
I mean, objectively, there was a better way to use that bubble. No matter which way you swing it, there were so many better ways to do it.
A better chance of winning.
Why did I not just keep killing her there? She was so low. Yeah, I was over it.
I like it, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I think it was a good decision, but it was made out of a bad place, a very dark place.
No, I like it. I like that's like a quick way to guarantee a fight as long as you're like making sure she can't res that.
Right. Which at this point, obviously they can't as far back as they are. This was a crazy coach gun from this Ashe. I was so mad.
It
Yeah, it was good.
This is good. It's good.
Oh god, I don't even think I knew that Vendetta was behind me. Why am I shooting?
That was good though. I like that.
Yeah.
Like you had like a good back and forth there. Like you probably could have played a little, but it's not that big of a deal.
Right. The
like,
bigger issues.
I like that. I like that when the queen got low, like you kept the pressure up, and then you started going on the Ashe and.
Right. As soon as you started backing up and giving the space to do something.
Taking advantage of that little. Do you see what I'm saying about that? Like the lack of cover here.
Oh yeah, I'm like 200 HP by the time I get to her, correct?
And the Ashe is not even looking at you.
No. Colors keep really messing me up. For a second, I think I'm supposed to be shooting that Junkrat, and I should not be shooting that Junkrat.
Whoa.
Probably shouldn't have worked, to be honest.
Whoa.
It's passion. No, it was a bad decision, but it was passion.
Do you say why I say whoa?
Because I was alone, I was reloading, I didn't have a high charge, like there was not much to do to capitalize on that.
Whoa.
Okay, so let me explain what happened there, because I can explain that.
Whoa.
Okay, let's back.
Yeah, let's get some explanation for this last minute.
Yeah. Let me just walk this out real quick. Okay, so we do this agreement.
At this point, do you feel your team is with you?
No.
Like, honest opinion.
No.
You don't feel they're with you?
No. I think I can do this. This is just like feeling myself.
Oh, you think this is like a 1v3?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, I totally got this. Yeah, both supports with their tank. Yeah, that's a good idea. Terrible decision in the moment. Hindsight 2020. But past this, because we acknowledge that was bad. What was worse was me walking. What I was trying to do in my head was chase that Ashe. I completely forgot that's where forward spawn is. I literally completely forgot that. I'm like, oh, yeah, this the only way this Ashe has that I can remember is to come out this way. So if I just meet her at the door, I could kill her. And then with the whole team there, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I should not be here.
I feel my bigger problem with that is not the fact that you forgot, is the fact that after you kill the Graph, I see you look at cart and you're like, oh, yeah, somebody else will get it. When you're the cart person.
Oh no, I explicitly do not push the cart. That is as unless there is a OT moment or that's where the fight is, I don't that's been a habit of mine for a while.
Wait, why?
Because there's so many other things I could be doing besides pushing a cart. When especially in this game, it felt like I was the only one doing anything. While it wasn't perfect, it was, without context, it's kind of weird statement, but like both of my supports were full crashing out and not like. Their first deaths, they were crashing out after that. The rest of the team, the rest of the game, they were typing and whining and complaining. So I was trying to make plays here, but obviously, as we saw, none of them were perfect by any means, and some of them were just downright egregious. But like, that was what goes through my head. Now, as far as that, we could have that brief conversation because I understand that there's nuance. We've talked about how there's not a black and white in Overwatch, right? Like, and I completely agree with that. But the tank pushing the cart feels like you're forcing that front line to be at the cart instead of in front of the cart for there to be space made. That is the quote logic unquote that I go through in my head. I'm open to correction on that for sure, but that's what goes through my head.
Oh, on payload maps, where do you think the fights usually happen?
I mean, on or near the payload.
Correct. And when you look at your team, right? Who on this team outside of, let's say, your Moira, because your Moira can't poke. Who do you say on your team has the least amount of poke? Like on all the characters that you got.
The least amount of poke? Outside of more, well, me. I mean,
yeah.
If you're counting me in this conversation, absolutely me. Yeah.
You guys have like the same beam ranges. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. Uh-huh.
And so, who would you say on your team needs the most setup before fights? Including Moira, by the way.
I mean, Soldier or Wu Yang, probably.
Soldier, Wu Yang, Junk, I would say.
Yeah, Junk.
Right? Like
sure. Yeah.
Your Junk would probably like to be in these tubes if you could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like Junk heaven.
So that's kind of my point, right? Like, you are the character that dictates where the fight takes place, and you are the character that needs the least amount of setup, right? It's not like you're playing ball. I mean, even at ball, like you still do it. But what I'm trying to say is like you don't need any setup at all, and your teammates do, right? So this is kind of like where like your like Overwatch principles like override what's going on, right? Because like for example, on Gibraltar, like you should know, like a principle would be like, even though you're not doing a lot, you being on high ground is you doing a lot. Even though you feel like you're not doing much with zero charge,
just existing there is
beaming anybody.
Yeah,
like existing there, like on principle, is like the correct thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like another one of those things where, like, on principle, everybody in your team needs setup outside of like the Moira, but you, and you're the only person that can like hold the cart down. And for example, what I mean by that, right, is like, let's say the cart is pushing here, right, on this bend,
Uh-huh.
right? Let's say the cart comes here, right?
Okay.
And let's say before the fight starts, this Ash peeks here, right? And their Ash hits a headshot, right? You were the only person on this team that will survive the next shot. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, I had to kind of process what you're saying. But yeah, I'm tracking with you. Yeah.
So if this Ash hits a 2-tap, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were the only person that will live or doesn't have to give up the cart. For example, if the Ash comes here and the cart's like right here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And your soldier's on cart, right? When he wants to be up here, right? Now he gets headshot and he has to run away and get off cart.
Right.
And now you have no one pushing cart again. Right. And now then whoever was pushing up on front, like you guys, now have to come back and push cart because he can't push it anymore and he has to go get help and his healers have to go to him. And then you guys have to cancel, like your push gets canceled out because no one's on cart now.
Right. It doesn't matter that I cleared all the space if the cart didn't move.
Right. So characters that need setup and like can't survive cart shouldn't be on cart.
Right.
For example, it would be different if, let's say, you had a Mei on cart, right? Or if you had like, I don't know. But
a Reaper, a Mei, or I don't know, something with a little bit more tankiness.
You know what I mean? Like, but does that make sense to you?
It does. Yeah, I appreciate you explaining. Cool. It does make perfect sense.
Right, like this goes bad if let's say your Wu Yang goes cart and he comes back and there's somebody waiting for him. That's it. He's dead.
Yeah.
You're the only person that wouldn't like die to a sneak attack. And then this is like a human error, which is happens.
Right. Yeah. This was.
But
Your reaction was literally my live reaction, by the way. Oh shit! I should not be here.
yeah,
It's like a jump
this is
scare.
fine. You know, you can't coach somebody to remember spawns.
No, that's. I probably will. I don't know that I'll ever forget that one, if I'm being honest. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. What do you think about this?
Again, just poor bubble usage. If I had had another bubble to walk away from the bob once it was thrown, I would have been able to live here. That's like one of the things. I don't know if that's the only thing, but that's definitely one of the things. So like right here, I'm half HP, walking out with no cover, use my one bubble, and then just get bursted down.
Precisely. Right. I think it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a principle, but it's like, you know, that with the cart already have gone like 107 meters. Like the cart already like this far apart, that the cart's just gonna fly past here, right?
Oh yeah,
You
for
already you already know that, right? And so they want to keep pushing, right? It's not like it's last fight and you guys have to make this push, right? Like of course you guys want to win, but if they want to get this cart any like further or they want to complete the mode, like they have to walk on this incline.
Yeah.
Right. And that would imply that they have to walk into you. Right. And I'm not saying that, you know, you should just be here and you should just not push. But when you don't have the bubbles, like you just
Holding
'cause
that
you
corner
just have
would have
to
been
use
a
your
better
bubbles.
idea for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, holding the corner, making them walk into you, and when you get your cooldowns back or you guys get an ult, then you can push.
Right, and even that
But
window that's right above where they're at right now too, like being able to be.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with
exactly. Your referral right here.
you. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
like you just need to like sometimes you just need to like settle yourself,
Yeah.
get the
Settle down a
cooldowns you
bit.
lost,
Mhm.
and then go back in, right? Because you can always use cover to give you time.
Yeah, it buys time. I'm
Right?
with you. But
And,
instead,
like,
I walk out. I swing
Yeah,
far
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Holy crap.
You walk in with half your cooldowns. Like if you were here waiting for your bubbles and the queen has to walk here, like that's pretty bad for him. Right?
Yeah,
Like that's not
it's
something he
she's
wants to
doing
do.
then what I'm doing now.
Right, yeah.
Going way too far.
Time for the reckoning.
That's such a good queen
And
ult too.
that's all she wrote.
Yep, that's it right there. That queen ult. I don't even think I respawn.
Looks-
I might, but I don't think
That
I
looks
touch.
it.
Going for a new
Yeah.
personal best. Smoke 'em out of there.
Yeah. That's about it. You any questions?
No, I appreciate the perspectives for sure. I've definitely been trying to get a consensus on a few things, like the three big pieces that like there was a lot of things learned from this, but like the big three things that I'm choosing to take away from it heavily are just the kind of philosophy is probably a big term for it, but mindset, for lack of a better one, of cart in general, like who's pushing cart. I appreciated that. That was a really good insight because generally I've just been like, no, I'm not touching that. Like literally, like it's the freaking plague.
Mhm.
And then the it was kind of reaffirming to know about the hero map pick kind of debacle there. And then like comms, I think that was a really good point too. Like I think those like comms and the cart mentality, I think will help a lot. And then obviously too, like there was a lot that we covered in the specific gameplay nuances, right? I mean, a lot. There was a lot of different bases.
Yeah,
but
I think your main things is just like who you're shooting and why you're shooting them and like cover and just like your principles. Like know why you're doing a thing.
right, really understand why
And
I'm doing what I'm doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like you'll start to understand that like once you do the thing and it works, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like this is the thing to be doing.
Right, it all kind of clicks
what I
at
mean?
that point. Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. I learned a lot from Hydron's coaching, but I also enjoy sharing opinions sometimes. And in this video right here, I actually ranked all of the Overwatch 2 maps that are currently available. And trust me, there's sure to be at least one take you agree with, and I'm sure a couple that you won't.